I've been listening to the death of the U.S. dollar since 1966. Every 2 years, somebody comes along and says, this is the death of the U.S. dollar. You only have to ask yourself one question. If you're a sovereign wealth fund, I don't care what country, Middle East country, Eastern, Western Europe, where is the majority of your wealth right now? It's sitting in the S&P 500, denominated in the U.S. dollar. Now, until that changes, there's no chance of another currency becoming the default currency of the world. People wanted to make it Bitcoin. That's interesting, but that's a speculation. That's not a currency. And so maybe a digitized version of the dollar, although that's going to be stalled out by privacy concerns, I think. Maybe a private version of that like USDC. And so maybe a digitized version of the dollar, although that's going to be stalled out by privacy concerns, I think. Maybe a private version of that like USDC, but the basic unit of conversion of wealth and storage of wealth remains the US dollar.
Not forecasting a recession at all in the U.S. for this year. Where is that cushion, that cushion of growth coming from?
I mean, what surprised us about the U.S. economy is the strength of consumption spending, the strength of the labor market. And that has happened despite the Fed raising interest rates quite considerably. Now, if you look at the very recent data, you see some signs of softening, but still, these are still strong conditions. That gives us, the possibility that they could avoid a recession.
Here at home, the U.S. banking system remains sound, with strong capital and liquidity positions. The global financial system also remains resilient due to the significant reforms that nations took after the financial crisis. We're committed to continuing this work through bodies like the Financial Stability Board and the Basel Committee on Banking Supervision. Financial regulators across the world are finalizing the implementation of Basel III and addressing vulnerabilities in non-bank financial intermediation. We're also focused on monitoring and adapting our regulatory frameworks to risks posed by digital assets and the changing climate. I believe our banking system remains strong and resilient. It has solid capital and liquidity, and the U.S. economy is obviously performing exceptionally well.
Unfortunately, some members of the media
use their platforms to push their own personal bias. And agenda to control exactly what people think. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.